Hi, this is Jason Shatner, aka Wolffoetowtech, and still have not decided on whether I should call myself by my birth name or my screen name. But still, this is going to be, as the title says, part 2 of my Final Fantasy VII then remake. It's getting episodic episode. You see me keep looking down because I got a whole bunch of notes here to remind me what I'm supposed to be doing here. But I did a whole bunch of research and I looked into Sony's official database on the capacity on Blu-rays that the PlayStation 4 can read, and I also looked into some historical evidence as to what size games are on the disc, not when they install into the system, which changes because there's partitioning and all kinds of other stuff. But just for your future knowledge, according to official sources from Sony and Wikipedia, both sources, I looked them up, the PlayStation 4 is compatible with the standard model Blu-ray ROM and Blu-ray, movie and ROM, all those discs, which max out at 50 gigabytes for 2 layers. It's 25 gigabytes single layer, 50 gigabytes dual layer. There are other types of Blu-rays called XL Blu-rays and a few other kinds that go much higher, go up to like 128 gigabyte capacity. But for all intensive purposes, all PlayStation 4s by default only only accept the type of Blu-ray that maxes out at 50 gigabytes. And this is very important to take note of because several games actually on disc max out at 50 gigabytes. Good example is Wolfenstein and Grand Theft Auto 5. Both of those games max out at 50 gigabytes on disc. Now, when you install some of these games, it will increase the number because of partitioning of the memory and reserves for certain things, say like Grand Theft Auto Online Grand Theft Auto Online downloads and updates have little plug-in points into the space, so when you install the game onto your hard drive, it comes out to be greater than 50 gigabytes, not 55, 50 gigabytes, because it goes from a compressed state of 50 gigabytes, it's to a proper size, and then it goes from it's compressed, goes to decompressed, and then there's added in sections for updates and patches that they know they are going to be downloading because there is not enough memory on a single Blu-ray to do it. So, there you go. So, what does that mean for Final Fantasy VII? Well, I spent a good amount of time looking at several details, and I completely forgot to grab something very important right now. Give me a few seconds. And it'll just take me a moment. And I'm back. I've been doing research. Now, I have been looking at various maps of the game overworld from Final Fantasy VII, comparing units of whatever units of measurement. There are some inexactitudes in Final Fantasy VII. The point A on the map is where Midgear is, which is a sprawling city in Final Fantasy VII. And you are wondering, why is this relevant? Well, do you consider that Midgear is approximately the size of half of Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean the entire world. I mean the actual main sections. I mean like Los Santos, Vinewood, good chunk of that, even the desert, a few other towns out there. That is basically half of the area of Grand Theft Auto 5. So, if Square Enix is fleshing out Midgear, I mean like you can walk everywhere in Midgear or a lot more places. And remember there's 2 layers on Midgear. Not a single, not the ground. I mean the slums and the upper part of town. You lay those over top of each other and you have a large area. And then you have the immediate area around Midgear. But if you see the map again, Midgear is the little A I pointed at earlier, right there. And this is a map of the entire planet. Now, which generates a bunch of questions. Are they going to use an overworld map? Or are you going to walk out of Midgear and walk through vast fields still in third-person view? Not from the sky, not like a god view, but third-person view from backside of cloud. And they expanded out to the quality of Grand Theft Auto 5 or better. It actually is very feasible that they could use up like 5 or 6 Blu-rays just on that. Final Fantasy VII, world-wise, in footsteps, is about 50 easily with. I didn't go all the way through the math or anything, so that's why I'm not quoting any numbers. But easily exceeds 10 times aims the land space than Grand Theft Auto 5. So, a recent detail that popped around, and I did not see any news article on this, I just see the flow of information between people, is that Square Enix is going to release Final Fantasy VII Remake in 3 parts. And each part, I did the math based on the final number people gave out, is going to be $60 each, a full game. And that is going to come out to $180 for the entire Final Fantasy VII Remake experience. Which will be, if just they use up 3 Blu-rays completely, that is 150 gigabytes. If they compress it down to a very tight level and expand it out, and maybe some updates here and there for other things, this could easily be a game, all 3 of them on your hard drive, could easily be 160 to 80 gigabytes. If they really compress, they use a lot of algorithms to compress the data down really tight on the disk, and then the game comes off the disk and it unpacks itself. You could have a monster that could eat up. You have basically on a 500 gigabyte hard drive about 450 gigabytes left if you don't put anything on it other than Final Fantasy VII. It's on top of that. I'm not really good at math. You have less than 300 gigabytes. It's of space, maybe even 280 gigabytes left over. So, there. And I covered that sheet of paper. And as I said, there is an actual several files on Wikipedia and even on on Sony's official website that simply state that every Blu-ray, PlayStation 4 can only read the format of Blu-ray that is topped out at 50 gigabytes. So this leads me to another next thing. Are you gonna buy Final Fantasy VII as each installment comes out, or are you going to wait to the end hoping that there is going to be a complete edition? And I would like to have that answer in the comments. Also, here is a possibility. According to various rumors and recent events, Cloud is coming to Smash Brothers. And it's possible that Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming to the NX. Possibility. If the NX uses a cartridge-based media, the capacity could easily be above 512 gigabytes. No problem. There's technology out there that can make cartridge technology far beyond anything that a Blu-ray can ever hope to achieve. Cartridge chip technology has now elevated cartridge to a point where no disc media has a hope of even touching it. You can go in the store and buy 64 and 128 gigabyte SD cards for $50 or $32 on sale. But putting it on that kind of media for a game is going to be expensive because it's going to end up being $80. But when you consider that, spending $180 for all three Final Fantasy VII game installments total, if you spend $80 on a single cartridge versus $180 on three Blu-rays, you're ahead. So that basically covers the whole chunk of all my details. Feel free to leave your opinion in the comments, vote on the video, subscribe, and feel free to share this video with anyone you want. Have a wonderful day.